like that's how I got on the show. I was literally in the right place at the right time.
Carter Oosterhouse shot to reality TV fame when he became everyone's favorite carpenter on TLC's Trading Spaces 20 years ago.
Unbelievable, never would have thought it would happen in a million years.
But underneath the surface, Carter might not be the wholesome good guy he seems to be. The truth about his alleged disturbing behavior, that he's desperately tried to keep a secret, and why he's disappeared is absolutely shocking. After Carter landed a spot on Trading Spaces as a carpenter and designer, his career completely skyrocketed. Over the next few years, he worked with several different TV shows on HGTV, TLC, and the DIY network. At around the same time, he also founded a nonprofit organization called Carter Kids, which builds playgrounds for kids in low-income communities. Between Carter's marriage with Amy Smart, his charity, and his career in television, it looked like he had it all. But about a decade after he stepped into the spotlight, his seemingly perfect wholesome reputation was suddenly called into question. In December 2017, Carter was accused of seriously alarming behavior by his former makeup artist, Kaylee Kaminsky. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Kaylee claimed that Carter had forced her to participate in adult acts with him against her will. Kaylee revealed that in 2008, she had been hired as Carter's makeup artist on his HGTV show, Carter Can. Allegedly, he spent months dropping creepy hints and making super unprofessional comments to her behind the scenes. But what allegedly happened next was extremely unsettling. Kaylee said that whenever she and Carter were alone together, he would supposedly always find a way to bring up the uncomfortable subject. Apparently, she thought that he had to have been joking at first for an unbelievable reason. According to Kaylee, she was surprised by Carter's suggestions about what she would do because she identified as a lesbian. But even though she had been consistently shutting him down, he reportedly kept trying to pressure her into the inappropriate act. Kaylee admitted that she realized Carter wasn't joking when he allegedly asked her if she liked her job. Since she was financially relying fully on her employment as his makeup artist at the time, she said yes, but that wasn't all. Kaylee also told Carter that she wanted to find more opportunities to work as a makeup artist. That resulted in him giving her an unexpectedly twisted ultimatum. Kaylee claimed that Carter told her that she could start working with him for other appearances outside of the show, but supposedly he would only help her if she agreed to participate in the inappropriate adult activity she had been refusing. Kaylee felt trapped. She thought that if she said no again, she would lose her job. She allegedly ended up caving to Carter's pressure, but what happened after that instance was truly terrible. Kaylee was reportedly forced into the same situation around 15 times during her employment as Carter's makeup artist. She also told The Hollywood Reporter that she had confessed to 2 of the show's female producers what was happening with Carter, but she supposedly wasn't taken seriously for a bizarre reason. It turns out that Kaylee had been trying to convince herself at the time that she wasn't being pushed into anything against her will. So when she talked to the producers, she made it sound like she was in control of the relationship with Carter. But a few months later, everything came crashing down. Kaylee revealed in October 2008 she actually had to be admitted to the hospital. She missed a week of work since her stress about the situation with Carter had allegedly resulted in a stomach ulcer. But because nobody knew the full story at the time, Kaylee's world was turned upside down. Apparently, the show's director had no idea why Kaylee had been absent for a week, so 2 months later, he told her that the contract wouldn't be renewed the following year. Kaylee felt humiliated and defeated, and she no longer had a job. That caused her mental health to absolutely spiral out of control. Kaylee claimed that her overwhelming depression prevented her from finding other work, and she ultimately decided to seek professional help. She checked herself into a mental health facility for treatment, but what she did around a year later was seriously unbelievable. Kaylee decided to reach out to a higher up at the production company that worked with Carter Can. She told them everything that had happened behind the scenes, but was given a very surprising response. Kaylee had reportedly been told that nobody else who had worked on the show was able to back up her accusations about Carter. Because of that, the production company did nothing about her allegations aside from contacting Carter to let him know about them. Supposedly, Carter had called Kaylee to apologize because he had been under the impression that their relationship was totally consensual. She said that he had allegedly offered to help her find work in the industry again, but after the phone call ended, she never heard from him again. Kaylee's accusations were incredibly serious, but the reasons why she went public with her claims were reportedly not because she wanted to sue Carter or get a payment from him. She said that she only wanted a chance to speak the truth about what had happened. Not long after Kaylee made relay her allegations about Carter, he released a statement to The Hollywood Reporter. He denied that he had forced her into doing anything against her will, but what he confessed was honestly crazy. Carter admitted that he and Kaylee did in fact have an intimate relationship with each other, but according to him, everything that happened between them was completely consensual. He also said that he wouldn't have participated in any activities with Kaylee if she had ever expressed feeling uncomfortable or uninterested. But that wasn't all. Carter claimed that the first intimate encounter they had, Kaylee had actually been the one to suggest it. Apparently, that was the case for several of the other instances as well, but he also wanted to clear the air about a startling detail. Carter said that he had no idea that Kaylee identified as a lesbian. He explained that she had supposedly been involved in a similar relationship with another male employee from the show. Kaylee's version of events and Carter's side of the story were obviously very different, which made the whole ordeal even more confusing. However, TLC completely supported Carter, but the network may have had his back for all the wrong reasons. At the time, TLC was preparing to launch the reboot of Trading Spaces. It's possible that they defended Carter, who appeared in the reboot, because they didn't want the show's popularity and ratings to suffer. But the network wasn't the only support that he had. Carter's wife also stood by him throughout the scandal. Amy even fired back at the accusations in a since deleted Instagram post. She called out Kaylee for playing the victim and demanded that she take accountability for her actions. Carter had so many people on his side that Kaylee's claims started to look a little less credible, but at the same time, there were also people who brought attention to a really concerning aspect. It was impossible to ignore that Carter had much more power than Kaylee did when their intimate relationship took place. She had been hired to work for him, so she could have easily felt that she had to do whatever he asked of her if she wanted to keep her job. But that's not the only reason why the entire situation seemed troubling and suspicious. In the beginning of 2023, the allegations resurfaced when shocking details were exposed by the Washington Post. Believe it or not, Carter had hired an internet reputation company to cover up Kaylee's claims against him. But that's not even the craziest part. The company Unveil had its private information leaked online and published by the outlet. According to Unveil's records, Carter had paid $3,200 to have them scrub the internet of whatever negative stories about him they possibly could. But why would he have hired the company if he wasn't guilty? Kaylee spoke about how sketchy it was for Carter to try to cover up her allegations, but she also claimed that he ultimately knows exactly what he did. It also seemed pretty bizarre that Unveil had also been connected to some super shady clients. Some of the other high-profile people who had paid the company to cover up negative stories about them were extremely alarming. They had been accused of inappropriate and dangerous crimes and had even paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to Unveil. Maybe Carter really is innocent and he just didn't want Kaylee's allegations to damage his reputation further, but I have to admit, it's so strange that he hired such a seemingly unethical company to help him cover up the accusations. It's also odd that Carter has refused to address anything related to Unveil, or why he might have wanted to keep Kaylee's claims a secret. At this point, it's so hard to know who's telling the truth. But now that we've gotten into the insane details surrounding Kaylee's allegations and Carter's weird attempt to cover them up, I'm curious. Do you think there's any truth to Kaylee's side of the story? If not, why do you think Carter paid a sketchy internet company to cover up Kaylee's claims about him? Let me know in the comments below.